Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel InfoSec Lab, and today is day number 15 of Advent of Cyber 2024 from TryHackMe. Can't believe that we're halfway there and we're almost done with this event. Now today we're going to be learning about something that we haven't covered before, which is Active Directory in Windows machines. For those of you who are new to this, Active Directory or AD, which is short for AD, is a very common network infrastructure used in many enterprises and organizations. So the learning objectives of today's room is going to be learn about the structures of the Active Directory, learn about the common AD attacks, and investigate a breach against an AD. Now, just like you, many of you, I am not very familiar with AD. I just have the basic knowledge of Active Directory. So let's go over the readings and the materials and see how it is and see what it is. Introducing Active Directory. Before diving into Active Directory, let us understand how network infrastructure can be mapped out and ensure that access to resources is well managed. This is typically done through through directory services, which map and provide access to network resources within an organization. The Lightweight Directory Access Protocol, or LDAP, forms the core of directory services. It provides a mechanism for accessing and managing directory data to ensure that searching for and retrieving information about subjects and organizations such as users, computers, and groups is quick. Active Directory is therefore a directory service at the heart of most enterprise network that stores information about objects in the network. The associated objects can include users, individuals, accounts representing people or services, groups, collections of users in the other objects, often with specific permissions, computers, machines that belong to domain governed by AD policies, printers and resources, network accessible devices or services. So if you work in your company, you have your own company's email address, right? It's gonna be combinations of your first name and your last name, followed by and the company's domain name. So this is each of the company's email is considered is the user within the Active Directory. Groups is like if you're working on engineer department, then your group is going to be like engineer group. If you work in the HR department, it's gonna be like HR group. That's just how it is. The building blocks of an AD architecture include domains, a logical grouping of network resources such as users, computers, or services. They serve as the main boundary for AD administrations and can be identified by their domain component and domain controller name. Everything inside domain is subject to same security policies and permissions. Organizational units are containers within a domain that help group objects based on departments, locations, or functions for easier management. Administrators can apply group policy settings to specific OUs, allowing more granular control of security settings and access permissions. Forest is a collection of one or more domains that are shared the same schema, configurations, and global catalog. The forest is a top-level container in AD. Trust relationships, domains within a forest or across the forest, can establish trust relationships that allows users in one domain to access resources in another, subject to permission. So domains are just like logical groupings networks. It's like the company is TryHackMe, then is the domain name is gonna be like TryHackMe or THM. Organizational units is like you divide within the company. There are different departments, and these are like the organization units within the AD. So you have HR OU, which only has access to HR related resources. You also have like finance OUs, engineer OUs, marketing OUs, and etc. Depending on the structures of the company, you may have different kinds of OUs within that organization. Forest is is a collection of different domain controller. Like so, let's say you have TryHackMe 1 domain controller, TryHackMe 1, TryHackMe 2, TryHackMe 3. So those are grouped together and form a forest. And trust relationship is just like, the relationship between those domain controller TryHackMe one. What's the relationship between the trust TryHackMe one and TryHackMe two? And what's the relationship between TryHackMe two and TryHackMe three, and so on and so on. Combining all these components allows us to establish distinguished name DN that an object belongs to within the AD. The structure of the name would be follow: DN, LCN, malware, all use management. This is Webvel, this is TryHackMe. So the core Active Directory components. There are several key components that we need to know. Domain controllers are the servers that host Active Directory services. They store the AD database and handle authentications and authorization requests, such as logging in users or verifying access to resources. Multiple DCs can exist within the domain for redundancy. When changes are made to an AD, these changes are replicated across all DCs, ensuring that the directory remains consistent. Global Catalog is a searchable database within an AD that contains a subset of information from all objects in the directory. This allows users and services to locate objects in any domain in the forest, even if those objects reside in different domains. LDAP, lightweight directory access control. AD uses this protocol to query and modify the directory. The protocol allows for fast searching and retrieving information about objects such as users, computers, and groups. Kubernetes authentication. The default authentication protocol used by AD provides secure authentication by using tickets rather than passwords. Group policy is the most powerful features in AD, which allows administrators to enforce policies across domain. Group policies can be applied to users and computers to enforce password policies, software deployment, firewall settings, and more. Group policy objects are the containers that hold these policies. A group policy can link to the entire domain, an OU, organizational unit, or a site, giving the flexibility in applying policies. So here's an example of how to create a group policy within a domain within an AD. Run the window command, open the group policy management, create a GPO in this domain, and then create a new group policy named password policy. And then for this one, we're gonna be set the configuration for the password is to set to 12 characters minimum. Enforce password history 10 password, so the password that user create must not be the same one that the users have set up in the last 10 most recent passwords. And the maximum password age is going to be 90 days, so after 90 days users will be required to change their passwords. Password must meet the complexity requirement, yes, able. So let's go over that and try to see how to do it. So over here we search for group policy management. Go click this one. This is a forest where we'll TryHackMe. Within this web domains where we'll TryHackMe. Let's right click, create a GPO group policy object in this domain, and look at here. That's password policy. Okay. Okay, let's go here with the password policy. Detailed settings. Okay. So we have created the password policy. To edit the password policy, computer. Okay, go to this one, security settings, account. It's right here. Okay, wait. Group policy management. So we're in the same computer configuration policies, Windows settings. Okay. Where is it here? Let's just see how. Okay, so password policy. We can try settings here. Okay, let's go. Computer configuration. Nope. You can try computer. Okay, we're not allowed to see those. Where is it? The policy will now be applied. Edit it by navigating to computer. So it's within the same panel, same window right here. Computer configuration, Windows settings. Where is it? Okay, we can edit right here. Oh, computer policies, Windows settings. Security settings. And account policy right here, password policy right here. Okay, so maximum password age is going to be 90 days. Apply. Okay. Wait, is it maximum minimum? Maximum password age. Okay, maximum password age is enforce password history, yes. 10. Apply. Password length has to be minimum password 12 characters minimum. Password must meet the complexity. Enable, yes. Minimum password length audit. Of course we'll have to. I mean, this is, I'm not sure if this is required or not, but it's always good to log all the activities used by users. Sometimes user might do something that go against the policies, and having these activities logged within the system is always a good practice. You can always refer to these log events and see what actually happens from a user. So that's why I decided to enable that, even though it's not mentioned in the room. So apply. Okay. All right, pretty much that's it. Let's double check one more time. Minimum password length is 12 characters. Enforced password policy 10 passwords. Maximum password age 90 days, and must be enable the meet complexity requirements. Everything. Password age maximum 90 days, 10 passwords. Minimum password length 12 characters. Minimum password length audit make it 12. Password must meet complexity, yes, enable. All right, so everything is set. So that's how we set a new group policy to the Active Directory. Let's continue. Let's go over some common AD attacks. Golden ticket attack. A golden ticket attack allows attackers to exploit the Kerberos protocol and impersonate any account on the AD by forging the ticket granted ticket (GGG). By compromising the Kerberos TGG account and using its password hash, the attackers gain complete control over the domain for as long as the forged ticket remains valid. The attack requires 4 critical pieces of information to be successful. the FQDN, which is a fully qualified domain name of the domain, the SID of the domain, username of the account to be impersonated, and then the Kerberos TGG account password hash. So in order to detect this kind of attacks, we have to look at two event IDs. 4768, which look for the TGG request for high privilege accounts, and event ID 4672, which logs special privileges that are assigned to a users. Now we're not going to go deep into this kind of tab because it's going to be very confusing and very hard to understand. So let's just keep it at a high level for now. Pass the hash. This tabular tab steals the hash password up and can be used to authenticate to services without needing the actual password. This is possible because the NTLM protocols allow authentications based on password hashes. The key ways to mitigate this attack are enforcing strong password policies, conducting regular audits on account privileges, and implementing multi-factor authentications across the domain. So basically, in this kind of attack, attackers gonna be acquiring password hashes from the accounts on Active Directory, and then they're gonna be using dictionary attacks to compare all the hashes on the hashes available in the word list. So when you have a very strong password or a very complex password, then the hash is gonna be hard to guess because the chances of it being in the dictionary or being in the word list to be attacked is very small. Pass the ticket. In the pass the ticket attack, attackers steal the Kerberos tickets from a compromised machine and use them to authenticate to the user or service whose tickets were stolen. This attack can be detected through monitoring suspicious logs in event like 4768 and 4624. Malicious GPOs. Adversaries are known to abuse group policy to create persistent, privileged access accounts and distribute and execute malware by setting up policies that mimic software deployment across entire domains. With escalated privileges across the domain, attackers can create GPOs to accomplish goals at scale, including disabling core security software and features such as firewalls, antivirus, security updates, and login. Additionally, scheduled tasks can be created to execute malicious script or exfiltration data from affected devices across the domain. To mitigate against the exploitation of group policy, GPOs need to be regularly audited for unauthorized changes. Strict permissions and procedures for GPO modification should also be enforced. Excuse me. Skeleton key attack. In a skeleton key attack, attackers install a malware backdoor to log into any account using a master password. The legitimate password for each account would remain unchanged, but attackers can bypass it using the skeleton key password. Investigating an Active Directory breach, group policy. So, as previously discussed in this start, group policy is a means to distribute configurations and policies to enroll devices in the domain. For attackers, group policy is a lucrative means of spreading malicious script to multiple devices. To reveal a group policy object, we use command line with this command. We use command line in PowerShell get GPO, and then -o. Let's try that. You know what? Let's try the split screen to make it easier. Okay, so this one. Okay, get GPO -all. Okay. We have default domain policy, default domain controls policy. We have password policy, the one we just created earlier today. We also have the malicious GPO, glitch malware persistence. Okay, so we have 4 GPOs in total. This would allow us to look for all out of place GPO. So in this case, we have malicious GPO, which is suspicious to us. So we're gonna do a further investigation on this GPO. So how do we do that? We can use this command right here, get GPU report. I'm not gonna be copy and paste because by typing it out, it will help me remember the command. So I'm just gonna type it out, get GPU report, and name is, okay, the name is long. I'm just gonna copy and paste right here. Copy selection. See, this is the same thing that we just look at. Default domain controller policy, default domain policy, malicious GPO, and then the password policy. Everything was the same. And report type HTML, path is malicious GPO .html. Okay, what this command does is it's gonna be output all the details of this specific GPO, malicious GPO, into an HTML file, which is easier for us to actually take a look at it. All right, let's try to open it up. HTML file, users, administrators, and this is the file. Okay. Now I don't know why, but it's still the Windows still using the Internet Explorer, which is, very slow. But anyways, it's just a VM machine. Doesn't matter. So this is exactly all the information that we need to look at in a specific GPO. The domain names, where will TryHackMe, where will domain name is domain admins, the owners, time created, time modified, and then the unique ID. Over here, we can say some delegation, some configuration that was set by this GPO. Authenticated user, enterprise domain controllers. So overall, this gives you a better view, more readability when it comes to reviewing and investigating a specific GPO. All right, so let's continue. Let's go back to the PowerShell. I think let's just minimize this one for now. Domains are naturally likely to have many GPOs, so we can use the get GPO command with PowerShell full to list all the GPOs that were recently modified. This is handy snippet because it highlights policies that were recently modified. Okay, so we have 4 GPOs right now. We don't know which one has been modified, and we're gonna be using this command line right here to actually see which one was the most recently modified. Get GPO -org. As we all know what it is, we're gonna pack all the output and then filter the output with object. Modification term and select check display name modification term. Okay, so we have 4 GPOs in total, as we all know, and the most recently modified was this one, the password policy. Well, that's the one we just created, so that's why it was the most recent one. But the second most recent one that we want to take a look at is this one, the malicious GPO, which is October 30th on 2024 at 9 a.m. So yeah, so this is one very cool snippet for us to actually filter out all the modified GPO within the system. Event viewer, moving to the next tool. Well, we're all familiar with this tool from the previous days of TryHackMe. This is a very powerful tool. Not only does it keep track of all the events happening on the system, from security to operations to services. Everything is scripted and can be viewed and retrieved from this one. Depending on your purpose of what you want to retrieve, you can just use different tools. Over here, we're gonna take a look at the Windows log. And security is gonna be the type of the logs we look at. And because in Active Directory, we were looking at the login, logout events, these are going to be the keywords for the login or logout events in Windows directories. So for example, this is auto success. Let's just, so when it comes to login logout events, there are a few event ID that we have to remember. First is 4624, which is a successful login event, and 4625 is failed login attempt. So let's say I was trying to log in to this machine, and if the login was successful, then it will be logged into the event viewer here with the event ID 4624. As you can see right here, there's right here. This is a successful login attempt. Okay, log on. Keyword audit success. 4625 is an event that logs the failed attempt to log in. So let's see if we have any 4625. You know what? Let's find 4625. Right here. Cancel. So somebody tried to log in the system, and then because the username or the password wasn't correct, so it was a failed login attempt. It will be logged into the system and it will be shown right here. The keyword is auto failure, meaning that it's failed, and the event ID is 4625. So always 4624 successful login, 4625 failed logged in. All right, next 4672 sets privileges for a user, and let's take a look at it. Fine. 4672. Do we have one? We gotta have one. Okay, 4672 special login right here. See, you see a lot of actions have been performed in this one. So in this specific log event, it sets security privilege, it set backup privilege, restore privilege, tag ownership privilege, etc. to a specific user. So that's an event ID that we actually need to pay attention to. And then 4768, let's see what it is. A TTT ticket was request for high privilege account. So this is useful because when in a golden ticket attack or in a Kerberos roasting attack, then the attackers actually eventually will request a TTT, the ticket granting ticket. And those kind of activities, those kind of requests will also be logged into the event log. So it is helpful to take a look at this the event logs and to identify some malicious or some anomalous activities. So 4768 is right here. My God, 4768. Nope. Do I have 47? We have 4769. Oh my gosh. Bro. There we go. Finally. So let's take a look at it and see what how it looks like. Account information, the web view, account name, supply with the real name, user ID, right here, service information, Kubernetes right here, request and the ticket. It also provide we can actually view the details right here. It's more clear to us, and then we also view the system, on and on and on and on. So depending on what you're looking for, these are very helpful and useful event logs that we can filter out and take a look at. If we see something suspicious within the system, we can actually refer to the event viewer and filter out the logs to see them. Let's move on to the next step. User auditing. User accounts are valuable and often successful method of attack. You can use event viewer IDs to review user in the PowerShell audit the status. Attack methods such as password spraying will eventually result in user accounts being locked out, depending on the domain's controller lockout policy. To view all the lockout users' accounts, you can use the search AD account command. Okay, let's try that. Which you search AD account lockout. Let's see. Okay, seems to be none. So I don't think this command will give any output, but let's try. Select object name, some account name, log out, last log on date, distinguish. Okay, so on this current VM machine, there's no account that's being locked out, which is good because we don't have any signs of attempted password spraying or brute force attack. But yeah, let's just remember this one. Additionally, a great way to quickly review user account present on the domain, as well as the group membership, by using the get AD user command. Okay, let's try this one. Get AD user. Get AD user, filter everything, properties, member of. Let's see what it shows. There wasn't supposed to be a space. Okay, we have a list of users and them, but it's a little bit hard to understand. So let's try one more time. Type the output, select object name, some account name, name equals groups, expression equals member of. Okay, so basically what this command does is gonna be select everything here And then based on this output, it will be select the name, which is this field right here, the SAM account, this one, account name, okay. And then the groups at name equals groups expression is member of. So basically it, how do I say that? The member of, it's gonna be retrieve all the information within this square brackets right here and then put it in here, as we can see. So these are the three properties that we are interested in a AD user. So what's the SAM account name? I'm not sure. Let's try. Look like echo is not available. Can you? Nope, you can't. Okay, I'm just gonna try to. What is SAM account name in Active Directory? Okay, so it says the SAM account name is a user login name that supports client and servers from earlier versions of Windows machines. So I'm not pretty sure how it is different from the real name that is listed here. But I would say they're gonna have to be the same, and it is used for authentication. Let's just assume it like that. Please correct me if I'm wrong though. Reviewing the PowerShell history and logs. Okay, let's try that. This is the path on the Windows machine. And here's the PowerShell history that we have. Okay, we have. So these are all the PowerShell commands that we have tried earlier today. And get GPO report, name malicious, blah blah. Alright, cool. So, before that, so remember this is the very first command that we type in, and then before that we have these commands that we didn't actually use. So I believe this has to be some configuration commands that was run by the administrator or the DC, the domain controller. Group. Alright, so right now because this user is a regular in the AD, so there's no suspicious activities going on right here. But if we were to investigate a user that you think may be a backdoor or maybe a malicious, then the PowerShell history may reveal a lot of information about the user because it logs all the activities, all the commands that that the user typed in the PowerShell, just like what we did earlier. So many commands we typed earlier and then it shows right here. So it is a good place to go and investigate. Additionally, logs are recorded for every PowerShell process executed on the system. These logs can be located within the event viewer applications and service. Okay, event viewer again, very powerful. Event viewer application services logs, Microsoft Windows, PowerShell open. Applications services log, Microsoft Windows, PowerShell, and operation. Oh, okay. This is a new. The logs have a wealth of information useful for incident response. Okay, so these are the logs informations that the PowerShell history that we should take a look at. Get user ID member of, okay. Ready for PowerShell console starting up. Nice. So event viewer again is very powerful. It gives you all of the information what depending on what you need on the system. So as long as something happened on the system and you know where to look at, you can actually use event viewer as a tool to extract information and retrieve all the events happening on the system. All right, let's try answering the questions. I know it's a lot of information and concepts to learn in this, but to sum up, it's important to know that what Active Directory is, what LDAP is, which is the protocol used in Active Directories, what are Active Directory's key components, which is domain controller, OUs, and then group policies. Also, in this room, we need to know the basics of how to use PowerShell command lines to actually get a specific group policies, look at it, and then get a specific users, try to enumerate all users and group policy within the Windows machines. All right, let's try answering the question. On what day was glitch malware was last logged in? Okay, let's go back to the event viewer. Let's close this. Security. Wait, what? Okay. Let's find for the malware. It's been shut down. What? What is it? We still have time for the machine, right? Yeah, we still have time for the machine. Why is it shut down? Let's close it and open it again. Windows securities. Find glitch malware. It's gonna be there. Has to. What event shows the login number one? Not sure why it's low. So these two questions depending on the security type within the event field. So let's just wait for it for now. Let's continue with the next question. Read the PowerShell history of the administrator account. What was the command that was used to accumulate active there? It was this one. What was the command used to enumerate active directory? This one. Copy, paste. No, I should type it out. Look in the PowerShell logs, look at it. Application services, Windows PowerShell, was glitch malware password. Whew. Okay, so that's event viewer 2. So let's just leave it. Review the group policies and what's the name of the install policy? Okay, the name of the policy. Okay, get GPO-O. This is the name of the group policies that malicious. Copy, paste. That's the value. Look in the okay event viewer. Let's go for this one first. Glitch malware. I believe it's going to be this one. No. 4634 is not, no. Something wrong. Do we have anything else with the PowerShell? Oh yeah, we have this one. Applications logs. So this one should be done. Let's close it. This one should be done either. Close it. Group policy should be done too. Close it. Close it. Okay, mate. Okay, so I apologize for the mistake over there. The thing, something I did wrong here is when I was trying to find the keyword glitch malware, what I had earlier it was that I had a space at the end of the search term, which causes the system not recognizing the string. So what I did was actually remove the extra space, find next, and then I was able to retrieve the latest login date, which is November 20. Oh, this is logout, but okay, let's see. It's locked up right here. I believe logon is somewhere around here. Okay, let's try again. Hold on, let's go to the beginning of the log. Find and then glitch malware with no space. We are not interested in 47. Let's move on. 4634, no. 4672, no, we're not. 4624 is the event that we're interested in. So the latest one is November 7th. 7/11. 7/2024. No. Damn man. Yes, that's the correct one. Looking at the PowerShell log file located. Okay, the same thing. Make sure that when you search for this one, you're gonna be seeing, there's no space at the end of the keyword. So applications and service logs, Windows PowerShell, which is right here. Find which malware. And eventually we can actually go through each of these and see and inspect each of the event logged, but it's gonna take time. So instead I was thinking of maybe I should try password to see if there's any luck, and eventually yes, I was able to narrow down a few searches. Let's continue looking, and here this is one of the PowerShell event logs that shows the password. Super secret password. Super secret password. Boom. And that's it for the group today. I'm sorry for the mistake I made towards the end of the video. Hopefully that you learn more about Active Directory and don't repeat the same mistake that I made earlier today. And if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to help you with. Now, keep in mind that AD is a very complex topic. If you don't get it right now, don't worry about that. Just keep learning, and then eventually you get used to it. You get familiar with all the terms and the terminologies, and then eventually you get master of the AD. But right now, if you're confused, just like me, don't worry, I'm here. Just repeat this exercise and eventually you get better. Thank you very much and see you next time. See ya. Bye.